Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the NDP Aviation Academy. I hope you are all of you good. Okay, in this lecture, we are going to learn frequency band. Okay, frequency band and frequency and which frequency we use in the aviation. Okay, and which frequency we not use. Okay, one by one, we are going to learn. So, phase difference. What is the meaning phase difference? Okay, first of all, we want to learn what we want to learn what we want to learn we want to learn lights of speed, how much light of speeds. C means light. Okay, C equal to 10 into 8, 10 in 3 into 10 each power 10 each power 8 milli per second. This is the light of speed. You can also say electromagnetic wave. Okay, so lights and electromagnetic wave speed are going same speed. Okay, same speed. Sorry for disturbance. Okay, so first of all we want to learn one cycle. One if one cycle we already learned. Okay, so we just come here for the understanding the frequency band. Okay, frequency band. I'm not explaining what is the cycle and what is the modulation and what is everything. Okay, each and everything we already learned these all of things. Okay, so one cycle equal to 1 hertz. Okay, when one cycle completed, that time we can say 1 hertz. Okay, 1 hertz. Okay, and which unit we use frequency in hertz. Hertz is the unit. Okay, hertz is a unit. Then 1000 hertz, 1000 hertz. So how much cycle completed? 1000 hertz. So how would you say in the cycle? So we say in uh, kilohertz. Okay, 1000 means kilohertz. And if you convert to the, if you want to the form, if you want to the solve the this equation. So how we convert this 10 is to power 10 is to power 10 hertz. Okay, we can call like that. Okay, then 1000 kilohertz. Okay, 1000 kilohertz has a, we we call one megahertz. Okay, 1 megahertz and 1 gigahertz and one, we already learned guys these all of thing. Okay, so 1000 kilohertz. Okay, cycle, how much cycle? That's called the 1 megahertz. Okay, that's called the 1 megahertz. And how we say in the equation, 10 is to power 6 hertz, 10 is to power 6 hertz, then 1000 megahertz, then 1000 megahertz. Okay, 1000 megahertz has a 1 gigabyte. Okay, 1000 megahertz has a one cycle 1 gigahertz. Okay, 1 gigahertz. Then how would you say in the equation? One is 10 is to power 9, 10 is to power 9 hertz, 10 is to power 9 hertz, and 1 kilometer equal to 100 meter, and 1 meter has a 1000 meter. Okay, 100 meter, sorry, not 1000 meter. And 1 centimeter has a 1 centimeter. Okay, so this is the table we need to understand. One cycle has a 1 hertz. Okay, one cycle, when one cycle completed, that time we can say 1 hertz is completed, then 1000 hertz completed, then we can say 1 kilohertz. And how would you say in the equation? 10 is to power 3 hertz. Okay, then 1000 cycle completed above the 1000 cycle is completed, that time we can say 1 megahertz is completed. How would you say in the equation? One is to power 6 hertz. Okay, and when 1000 megahertz completed above the, so that time we say 1 gigahertz. And how would you say in the equation? 110 is to power 9 hertz. Okay, so 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters, 1 centimeter equal to 100 meter, and 1 centimeter equal to 1 centimeter. I hope you understand, guys, all of you. Then next one by one, we are going to see a frequency band. Okay, a frequency band, associated wavelength electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, electromagnetic spectrum. One by one, we are going to learn this all of thing frequency in each and everything. Which frequency we use for in aviation? Okay, I will tell you. Frequency band associated wavelengths. Okay, frequency band is associated with the wavelength. This is the electromagnetic spectrum, we can say. Electromagnetic spectrum, frequency band. Okay, first table has a frequency band, second is a frequency, okay, and second is a wavelength, and fourth is the civil aeronautical, which frequency we use for the aviation, aeronautics, for the space, satellite communication, which frequency we use. We want to learn these all of things. Okay. So VLF you can say very low frequency, very low frequency. We can say VLF. Okay. So frequency start from 3 to 30. Okay. 3 to 30 kilohertz. 3 to 30 kilohertz. Then how much wavelength? 10 to 100 kilometric wavelength. Okay, civil aviation we don't use this frequency. Okay, because this frequency is a very low frequency. Okay, now comes on a second frequency, low frequency, you can say in the short LF frequency start from 30 kilohertz, okay, to end 300 kilohertz. So how much wavelength he cover? Okay, 1 to 10 kilometer. He cover the area, cover the wavelengths. Okay, what that much distance he can travel. Okay, then next NDB ADF, we use this frequency. NDB and ADF. What is the NDB and ADF? Okay, non-beacon direction, and NDB is the transmitter and ADB is the receiver. Okay, NDB and ADF show you where is your aircraft. Okay, where is your aircraft and where is the station from your nose. This NDB and ADF show you. Okay. Then next medium frequency you can say MF medium frequency start from 300 to the 3000 kilohertz, 300 to the 3000 kilohertz. Okay, so you can say also 3 megahertz. Okay, 3 megahertz. Okay, you can say also 3 megahertz. Okay, then how much wavelength is 1000 to the 100 meter, and this is the denominator, histometric is the denominator, wavelength denominators. Okay, denominations. Okay, so we use this medium frequency for ADF, NDVF, and long range communication. Okay, long range communication. Okay, long range communication, what I am saying to you, these two frequency we use in aviation, or one more two frequency we use in aviation. Don't worry, I will be tell you each and everything. So I repeat again, very low frequency LF we don't use in aviation. Okay, start from 3 to 30 kilohertz, and what how much wavelength? 10 to 100 meters, 10 to 100 kilometers, kilometric you can say, and civil aeronautical we don't use this frequency. Then next, low frequency you can call in LF. Okay, low frequency you can call low frequency you can call LF. Okay, LF is the low frequency and start from 30 to and 300 kilohertz. Okay, and 300 kilohertz. Okay, and how much wavelength? 10 to 1 kilometer to 10 kilometric area he cover the distance, and we use the in aviation this frequency LF for the NDB and ADF, for the NDB and ADF. Okay, medium frequency MF, medium frequency MF. Okay, medium frequency MF start from 300 to the 3000 kilohertz, 300 to 3000 kilohertz. Okay, you can say also 3 megahertz. Okay, so how much wavelength? How much wavelength? 1000 meter to the 100 meter, hysterometric. Okay, hysterometric. So this frequency we use for the also NDV ADF, long range communication. Okay, long range communication, if you want to communicate for the long range, so that time we use this long range communication frequency MF. Okay, medium frequency. Okay, I hope you understand guys. I will give you 2 seconds for the writing these all of frequency. So take time and write down these all of frequency. and this portion maybe you should be not visit, you should not be see, because here is my camera. Okay, so here is the NDV and ADF long range communication. Okay, you can say, you can write down. Next. Next, frequency band associated with the wavelength electromagnetic spectrum. We already learned, okay, frequency band and frequencies, then wavelength, and then long range communications. Very high frequency start from here. Then short range communication, VDF and VOR, ultra high frequency. Okay, ultra high frequency. One by one, I will break this also. Okay. So we learned medium, VLF and LF. Okay. So now we are going to the learn high frequency. High frequency. You can say in the short HF. Okay. HF. 3 to 30 megahertz. This is the frequency. Okay. High frequency is 3 to 30 megahertz. 3 to 30 megahertz. Wavelength is a 10 to 100 meter, then decimetric, you can say. By mistakenly I wrote something wrong here. I'm sorry. High frequency is HF. Okay, high frequency of HF start from 3 to 30 megahertz. Start from 3 to 30 megahertz, 10 to 100 meters. This is the decimetric wavelength. Okay, we use in civil aeronautical long range communication. Okay, if you want to speak long range communication, that time we use this HF frequency, high frequency use. Okay, then very high frequency you can say in the short VHF. Okay, VHF start from 30 megahertz to the 300 megahertz. Start from 30 megahertz to the 300 megahertz. And what is the wavelength? Wavelength start from 10 to 1 meter. Okay, 10 to 1 meter. Yeah, 1 to 10 metric. Okay, 1 to 10 metric you can say. So we use this frequency, very high frequency, short range communication, also VDF, VOR, localizer, marker beacon. We already learned VDF, VOR, localizer. Okay, and we use for this short range communication, short range, and long range we use HF, and short range VHF we use. Okay, ADF and VOR, ILS localizer, and different types of frequencies like that 108.95. Okay, different types of frequency. Every VOR has a different types of frequency. Okay, every airport has a VOR station, and this VOR station has a different types of frequency. Okay, guys, I will repeat again. This is frequency band, then wavelength, and then civil aeronautical. High frequency you can say in the short HF. Okay, high frequency you can say in the short HF, and frequency. What is the frequency? 3 to 300 megahertz. 3 to 300 megahertz. And how much wavelength? Wavelength is a 10 to 100 metric decimetric. Okay, not decimetric. This how much wavelength? 10 to 100 decimetric wavelengths, and we use this aviation for the long communication, okay. Then next, very high frequency. Okay, very high frequency you can say in the short VHF. Okay, you can say in the short VHF. Then frequency is 30 to 300 megahertz, 30 to 300 megahertz. And what is the wavelength? How much wavelengths he can travel? Okay, 10 meter to 1 meter, 10 meter to 1 meter metric is the wavelength. Okay, so we use in this aviation this very high low frequency we use in aviation for the short range communication, range communication, and then VDF and VOR, and then IELTS localizer and beacon. Okay, IELTS localizer and marker beacon we already learned each and everything. VOR we learn, VDF also learn. Okay, short range communication we use this frequency, and long range communication we use HF. Okay, then next ultra 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 high frequency, ultra high frequency. You can say in the short UHF. UHF is the ultra high frequency. Okay, you can say in the short UHF. Okay, start from 300 to the 3000 megahertz. Start from 300 to the 3000 megahertz. Okay, that's called the 3 gigahertz. Okay, that's called the 3 gigahertz. Okay, 3 gigahertz. Okay, so how much wavelength this ultra high frequency? 100 to the 10 centimeter decimetric wavelength. Okay, this is the decimetric wavelength, 100 to the 10 centimeter. And we use this frequency in aviation. IELTS glide path. What is the glide path? We already learned DME, distance measuring equipment. Okay, SSR. Okay, secondary surveillance. Okay, satellite communication. GNS. Okay, global. GNS means क्या guys? Global navigation satellite system for long range radar. Okay, we use this frequency ultra high frequency. Okay, ultra high frequency, that's called UHF. Okay, UHF. Okay, next I repeat this ultra high frequency. Okay, ultra high frequency, I repeat again, ultra high frequency, you can call in the short UHF. Okay, UHF. UHF, ultra high frequency. Okay, so start from 300 to 3000 megahertz. Start from 3000 to 300 to the 3000 megahertz, and that's called a 3 gigahertz. That's called 3 gigahertz. And what is how much wavelengths? How much wavelengths of ultra high frequency? 100 to 100 centimeter to 10 centimeter decimetric. Okay, decimetric is a denominations wavelengths. Okay, then we use this frequency in IELTS, glide path, DME surveillance. Okay, and satellite communication, and long range radar and GNS, global navigation satellite system. Okay, I hope you understand, guys. I will give you 2 seconds and then go to the next, guys. Okay. Now, next. Frequency band associated with the wavelength electromagnetic spectrum, frequency wavelength civil aviation. Okay. Now, super high frequency HF start from 3 gigahertz to the end in a 3 gigahertz. And what is the wavelength? 1 to 10 centimetric. Okay, for using aviation radar and AWR, MSL, short runway, and then ultra high frequency. Okay, now don't worry, I will tell you. Frequency band super high frequency, that's called SHF. Okay, start from 3 gigahertz and end 30 gigahertz. And how much wavelength? 1 centimeter to the 10 centimetric, 10 centimetric. And in civil aeronautical we use for the radar AWR. Okay, MSL, micro landing system, and short range radar. Okay, short range radar. Then next, extremely high frequency, you can say in the short EHF, start from 30 gigahertz and end 300 gigahertz. And how much wavelength? 1 to 100 metric, you can say. And this frequency we not use in the aviation. Okay, then ultra high frequency we already learned UHF. Okay, start from 300 and in 3000 kilohertz. That's called the mega 3 megahertz. Okay, 3 megahertz. And we use this frequency wavelength. How much? 10 to 100 decimetric. okay, and we use in aviation ILS, glide for DME, SSR, satellite communication, global navigation satellite system, and long range radar. Okay, now I will explain again. Okay, don't worry. Super high frequency, you can say in the short HF. Okay, yes, HF. Yes, HF. Okay, super high frequency, you can call in short SHF. Okay, start from 3 gigahertz and end 30 gigahertz. Okay, and how much wavelength? 1 to 10 centimetric. Okay, 1 to 10 centimetric, and we use this aviation aeronautically radalt. Radalt AWR, okay, AWR we already learned, MSL, okay, and short range radar, okay, short range radar we use this super high frequency SHF, okay, SHF. Then extremely high frequency EHF, okay, EHF 30 gigahertz to the 3000 gigahertz, and what is how much wavelength? 1 to 10 millimetric, 1 to 10 millimetric, but we don't use this frequency in aviation. Okay, I repeat, ultra high frequency UHF start from 300 to the 3000 gigahertz, and that's called the 3 megahertz. Okay, what is the how much wavelength? Okay, 10 to 100 decimetric. Okay, and we use this aviation IS glide path and DEM, GNSS satellite communication, and GNSS long range radar. Okay, long range radar also. Okay, so now I will explain again and then go to the next, guys. Okay, this is my last time. I will explain three types and you will understand one type. Okay. So super high frequency, you can say in the short SHF. Okay, super high frequency start from 3 gigahertz and end 30 gigahertz. Okay, and how much wavelength? 1 centimetric to the 10 centimetric. Okay, and we use this frequency for the civil aeronautical radar, AWR, MSL, and short range radar. Okay, short range radar. Okay, short range radar. Then extreme high frequency. Okay, extreme high frequency. Just give me 1 second. Then extreme high frequency. Then extreme high frequency, you can say in the short. You can say in the short EHF. Okay, EHF. Extreme high frequency start from 30 gigahertz and end 300 gigahertz. Okay, and how much wavelength? How wavelength is that? 1 to 10 millimetric, 10 to 1 to 10 millimetric. This frequency we not use in a aviation. Okay, then ultra high frequency, you can say in the short UHF frequency start from 300 to the 3000. Okay, 300 kilohertz to and end 30,000, 300 kilohertz, and that's called a 3 megahertz. Okay, and how much wavelength? 10 to 100 say decimetric, and this frequency we use for the ILS glide path. Okay, ILS glide path we already learned. Okay, DME, SSR, satellite communication, and GNS. Okay, GNSS long range radar. Okay, long range radar. I hope you all of you understand these all frequencies. Okay, if you are not understand these frequencies, so you can call me on below the video. There is my number. Okay, you can call me on that number. I will try my best to explain you. Okay, so I will give you 2 seconds for the writing. Okay, after that I will change my slide. Okay, next. Radar frequency. Okay, radar frequency designated we want to learn. Okay, radar L band, radar S band. What is the gigahertz? 1 to 2 gigahertz, and 3 to 4 radar band C, radar band X. Okay, one by one explain to you. Now, radar frequency band designated. Okay, radar frequency band is divided into four parts. One is the radar band L, band S, band C, and band X. Okay, and every band has a different types of frequency. 1 to 2 gigahertz, 2 to 4 gigahertz, and 4 to 8 gigahertz, and 8 to 12 gigahertz divided in different types of frequency. Now one by one I will explain to you. Okay, radar. Radar means, what is the radar? First of all, radar ATC has a radar system. Okay, and this, sorry, radar has four parts. Sorry, radar frequency band designated. Okay, designated in a four part. Okay, which part? L band, S band, and C band, and X band. You need to understand only these four things. Okay, radar L band frequency start from 1 to 2 gigahertz. Okay, and 2 gigahertz, and radar S band start from 2 gigahertz and end 4 gigahertz. Okay, and radar C band start from 4 gigahertz and end 88 gigahertz. Okay, then radar X band start from 8 gigahertz and end 12 gigahertz. So this is the radar frequency band and radar frequency designated. Okay, radar frequency designated. I will explain again. I will explain again, and then I go to the next. Maybe I should be stop here. Okay, then, so radar L band is the 1 to 2 gigahertz. Okay, radar S band 2 to 4 gigahertz. Okay, and radar C band, okay, 4 to 8 gigahertz, and radar X band 8 to 12 gigahertz. Now I will close my eyes and I will try to explain again. Okay, radar L band. Okay, radar L band start from 1 to 2 gigahertz, and radar S band start from 2 to 4 gigahertz, and radar C band start from 4 to 8 gigahertz, and radar X band start from 8 to 12 gigahertz. I hope all of whatever I say in what I say now, these all of thing is right. Okay. So now just give me permission for the stopping here. I will give you 2 seconds for the writing these all of thing: radar L band, radar S band, radar C band, and radar X band. Okay. Write down these all of thing, guys. Okay. Now I am stopping here. Okay. So give me permission for the stopping here. Just give me.